Live from a NASCAR bunker in Kyle's parents' basement, it's Turn the Radio Off with Mike Parsons and Kyle Bauer.
Now, Kyle, if you move out of your parents' basement, where are we going to do the show from?
I guess you'll have to do it from my studio apartment.
There'll just be enough room for the broadcasting equipment, and there'll be enough room for your bed, and that's it.
It's going to be a single mattress, with no covers or anything, an open can of beans, and then next to it our little studio setup. That's the way it would have to be.
It's going to look like a meth lab minus the meth.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. I'm a big fan of meth labs. I'm not a fan of meth, but I'm a big fan of meth labs.
You like the aesthetic of it.
I love the aesthetic of it, and I like the ingenuity. I really do. Because when you think about it, I mean, you know, if you can build a meth lab, you have some scientific capabilities there. Unfortunately, you just wasted it because you blew that up along with your shed.
Right, yeah. Instead of actually using it for the good of mankind, like, I don't know, making a more fuel-efficient hydrogen cell vehicle, you just use it to sell drugs to prostitutes. Bravo.
Well, and I will say, too, going along with the meth aesthetic, that no one in the same vein that I appreciate meth labs, nobody loves a good meth head more than I do. I think they're hilarious. I really do. And I think meth heads are better than crackheads. You know, the 80s, they had crackheads. The aughts had...
Should that be our first
heads.
question out there, Kyle? 612-293-4262, meth heads or crackheads?
I think you have to go meth heads all the time. I think when you watch the pictures of people's deteriorating faces on meth, which, by the way, I know Ted Williams has shown us that the man with the golden voice, that you can collect several mugshots over a few years span, but how come all these meth heads have these decaying photos of them? Like, isn't that...
Well, because meth decays you alive.
Well, I'm saying, though, how come there was always some sort of police file around? I'm just saying, I think it's too much of a coincidence that they were busted, like, in the middle of the meth ravaging. You know what I mean?
Right.
What I'm saying is that I think the government...
They have a sweet deal with Faces of Meth or MontanaMeth.org, which if you go to pardon me. I think my microphone's on meth. If you go to MontanaMeth.org, that is the most effective anti-drug campaign that I have ever seen. I mean, you talk about shock value.
Right. Well, what I'm saying, though, is that when you see the ads on television, the PSAs on television, then when you see the PSAs in the magazine, and they always show the decaying photos, I'm saying it's too big of a coincidence that they're able to capture them in that timeline of decay. I am saying that the government is wrangling people up and shooting them up or getting them all hooked on meth. I almost said shooting them up. We're not talking about that type of drug. Getting them all hooked on meth and then taking photos of them as they show their ravenous decay over time.
That's very coast-to-coast AM of you, Kyle.
I think they have like a little bunker somewhere in Washington, D.C. or maybe New York City that they keep all these people in.
My guess is when someone's on meth, they're more predisposed to break the law, and they act accordingly. And that's probably what happens. But anyway, Kyle.
Yeah, I find it hilarious until somebody I know is affected, and then I'll start a charity for awareness.